Guys, here we are in the UFC gym booth with absolute legend and man of the moment, a man who needs no introduction, current number 3 ranked middleweight in the world. Robert Whittaker is in the house. Rob, thanks for coming down.
Oh man, it's great. The atmosphere is absolutely electrifying, and yeah, it's really good to be here, man.
Mate, congratulations on your success. Obviously, we're only 2 or 3 weeks out from, I guess, the biggest victory of your career, taking out the legend in Ronaldo, Jacare Souza. Tell us, has things settled down for you yet, or is it just still a whirlwind?
Things have settled down a little bit. You know, there's a lot of media coverage coming now. You know, like you said, I'm the man of the moment at the moment, the flavour of the month, if you would. But yeah, you know, it was a huge stepping stone for my career, and yeah, you know, I'm just reveling in it.
Absolutely. Rob, I think the commentary during and post the fight about the victory against Jacare, it was commented just how smart technically you were, and clearly you must have just been so rehearsed from a game plan perspective. Everything just seemed to be on point.
Yeah, well, you know, and I've said this the last few post-fight interviews, I have the best team in the world. You know, I have Henry Perez, Alex Prates, and Fabricio Whittaker in my corner. You know, those 3 guys are the foundation of the structure that I've built over the last few fights, and the results are just showing now. You know, I'm making huge gains in between every fight, and I went in there with the game plan, I stuck to the game plan, and the results are as follow.
And so the first time you dropped Jacare, you didn't go down to the mat and follow him down. Was that sort of like a tough thing to not do? I guess your natural fighter instincts kick in at that point. Did you really have to pull yourself back from following him to the mat there?
Well, I followed him for a little bit, but the idea was if I get him to the ground, if I knock him down, you know, even unconscious, I'm sure he could still tap me. You know what I mean? He's such a dangerous dude on the ground, and I know what my strengths are. And the whole fight is just about playing to my strengths, bringing it into my world. So I saw that he wasn't out cold. I got back up. Let's do it again. And I was willing to do that for 15 minutes if I had to.
Okay, just going back as well, I want to talk because I was at the event in Melbourne when you took on and defeated a first-round stoppage of Derek Brunson, who is another big hitter in the middleweight division. And the atmosphere in the arena was just electric when you got that stoppage. I want to know, what was that like in front of your home fans?
That's the whole reason why I do this. To be able to fight here and have the support of the whole Australian crowd was unreal. And, you know, honestly, competing, you know, for a country, having a country behind you and competing on the world stage, you know, it's the biggest honour and privilege as an athlete, I think, that you can achieve, really. And for me, that's the pinnacle of my career, is being able to represent Australia every time I step in there.
And so I want to talk and get an understanding of Robbie Whittaker when you were growing up. So as a teenager, obviously you're born in New Zealand, but we now like to claim you as an Aussie, and I know that you're very proud of both countries and representing both of us. But when you were growing up, were you into sport? What sport did you play?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I played NRL, so I played footy, and you know, I loved it, loved the team sport, still love it to this day. But I also did martial arts. Parents got me into martial arts, and you know, I reached a point where I had to pick one. And I was cutting weight for fighting, but wanted to get bigger for footy, and that kind of works against itself. So you know, I think I made the correct decision. And yeah, you know, I'm happy where I am.
No doubt. Rob, Dana always talks about you don't become a fighter, you're born a fighter. Do you think that was the case with you?
Definitely. You know, I honestly believe that when you get into the octagon, all the training and all the muscle memory, you know, kicks in, and you know, you're working on instinct, and it's that instinct that you're born with, that you have, whether the fight or fly reflexes are there or not. It's that's when it really starts to show, and I think, you know, there are certain dudes that are just born for the sport.
And so was there a moment when you were growing up where you were like, man, this is what I'm meant to do, I'm put on this earth to be a fighter?
It's funny, you know, ever since I was a young kid, like, fighting to me didn't seem too hard. You know, whenever I was put into competitions, all I had to, like, my mentality is all I have to do is hit that guy, you know what I mean? And I found it really easy. I found it really easy to get in there, to compete at this combat, in combat sports. And, you know, I didn't think any different of it growing up, because that's just how it was. But, you know, upon being at an old age now, a bit more mature, a bit more reflective, you know, I think some people are just born with it.
And obviously the transition, you've started in the UFC as a welterweight. You're now in the middleweight division. How important was that move?
That was a massive move for me. That was I always knew that I would have to move up to the middleweight division. You know, I'm a bigger, heavier set dude than I look, than I appear, and I always knew I would have to move up. I could have done it maybe a few fights earlier because the cuts were really starting to affect me, and you can see my performance change once I moved from welter to middleweight because of how much it was affecting me. But I also, in saying that though, I also needed those losses to form who I am today. So everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. And man, so post the victory against Jacare, there's been a few names kind of thrown around. I think Rocco's called you out. Even Bisping himself mentioned that you're deserving of the next title shot. I know Ramiro's in the mix. After the fight, you said Bisping does owe you. Is that sort of where you're still seeing it? You want Bisping next?
I want a title fight. I did something no one else in the middleweight division has ever done.
Yeah.
And I think I've earned that right. Bisping even said that I've earned that right, and I want that title fight. I want to fight Bisping because he's got the belt right now. If he loses it or if he drops it somewhere, I'll fight whoever picks it up. And, that's my mentality. I want a title shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rob, congratulations on all your success. We're just most proud of the Australian community, the fitness community, the martial arts community. You're just doing us proud, and we wish you nothing but the best moving forward. And thanks again for your support.
No, thank you very much, guys. It's unreal to have such loving crowd and support. And really, I couldn't do it without you guys.
Cheers.